What is happening? Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of What's Buzzin' Cuzzin with myself, Bobby K, and that sexy, handsome fella right there, Mr. RobbG. Yes, you won't hear me say that too many times to him in person because, well, we just don't have that kind of relationship. It's a love-hate relationship,
We
and I
should say it
love
more
to hate.
often to each other, though. I like it. I like it. Makes me feel good about myself.
You're so pretty.
You too, buddy. You
So
too.
pretty. You're so pretty.
Happy Friday. Happy
Happy
Friday, man.
Friday. Must be Friday if What's Buzzin' Cousins on, man.
Yeah,
We're a little bit earlier today.
Did you think we would make it? I don't know. It was touch and go there for a minute.
Every day's touch and go with me, mate. Especially now that I got this little fella who's decided to go and climb onto the one shelf that he's not allowed on, and of course I'm plugged in over here, so I can't get to him. So
I can hear him. I can hear him.
That he doesn't knock over anything. What are you doing?
So for those who don't know, Big Bobby K got himself a little kitten. Is he camera shy? Will he show up?
No, he's not camera shy. He's just trying to find wires to eat, and that one on the camera is not the one. No, it's not, little buddy.
If we happen to lose you and it goes dark, we know what happened.
You know what happened. Yeah, at least we have somebody to blame for our technical difficulties now.
Yeah.
Careful there. What are you doing? Come here.
I'll tell you, our older cat, he used to do that
You're
too.
Okay, you're okay.
He used to chew all kinds of cords. And every once in a while, we'd just be like,
I'll do it.
Turn on the TV and be like, the hell happened? Or turn on a lamp and be like, what's going on? Like, oh, someone ate this.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to now, man. Really looking forward to it. But how you been, buddy? How was your week? Can you notch the keyboard? No, don't. Thank you. Oh, what have you touched?
I can still hear you. No, we're good.
How do you open things that I don't even know about? But Chris has already said hello. Good evening to you, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Well, she's in the house. Big up. Well, she's going to be back in England. This was the girl I told you came all the way from Wales just to visit us. Took a 2-hour train ride from Cardiff just to come meet us at Ben Kaufman's coffee shop. Lovely, lovely. Andrew Gregory's in the house. Always supporting. Big up, Andrew. Good to see you, my man. Yeah, well, she got a little fur ball in the house. We've got a fourth Spurs boy now, so going to have to touch on that. We are going to be having a quick show today, Robbie, and the reason for that is going to come up in the chat right now. Our dear friend, Sava Talk Spurs, is actually doing something way more important than what we're going to be doing today. He is doing a 24-hour live charity stream with several members and panelists from the YouTube community. A whole bunch of guests have been coming in and out of there, and it's a fantastic cause. There's the link to the show. You can get on over there and give them a donation of any sorts. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's for a good cause, and I know Sava is a very generous person. He gives his time and love to a lot of people, and I know this cause is near and dear to him. So if you can support it, it'd be wonderful. Myself and Robbie will be jumping over there later on as well, so you can catch us a little bit more over there. But for now, we will get into a few things over here. We got the good stuff out of the way. We talked about the kitten, right? So we introduced Teddy somewhat said, yeah, there's the positivity. And now let's talk about football.
So you talk to me, man. Let me take it away from here. You talk to me. What are you feeling after that result on Wednesday? I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game because our games were on simultaneously.
Yeah.
So obviously I watched my game. But yeah. What's up, little K? You want to talk about your reaction from Wednesday's game?
He can't hear you. I got the headset on. Hold on. Robbie Chach is asking you something. Go ahead.
What are your reaction to the game on Wednesday?
Here, you go ahead and take over for a second. Don't. What are you doing?
I'm trying to remove him from the
screen. No, you can't remove him from the Stop clicking buttons. It's bad enough this one's walking around on the damn keyboard.
That's amazing. So you don't want to talk about it.
No.
You don't want to talk about it, little K. Do you want to talk about the Arsenal result? We can talk about that instead.
The Arsenal result. They won 4-0. This absolutely destroyed Everton. So, okay, go away. Go ahead. Go have an after-school snack.
Booyah, bro.
Booyah, bro. There you go. That's what he actually came on here for.
He's going to get a lot of that at the end of the season, regardless. He's going to get a lot of those.
Who's going to be that? Have the brownies, man. I'll be up. It's going to be a quick one. Okay, go away. Go away. Well, there's food up there. Help yourselves. You know how to do it. Right? So, we got an important question here from Stu.
Bye, guys.
So, Berbathoff Bird Camp.
Well,
before we get into the game, should we just answer that quick?
Yeah, I mean, my answer's pretty clear, but like,
Well, if that's the way it's going to be, then Bergkamp for me as well. He was just something else, wasn't he? Just
he did
something else. And the
commentary
fact
on.
that he was a Spurs fan too helps. You know what I mean?
I think he did
Berbatov.
commentary that day that when you guys went to the NLD, whatever stream I was watching, I can't remember where I was watching it here, but he was one of the commentators. I think it was him and was it Righty? I can't remember, but he was on there talking about that game.
Legends, buddy. Both of them legends. Berbatov scored some great goals for us. Unfortunately, I don't think he was around long enough for me to consider him a Spurs legend, even though he did do great things for us and propelled us, especially under Martin Jol. He played fantastic football, and he did it without even breaking a sweat almost. He just was effortless. I still remember this cheeky goal that he scored against Reading in that 6-4 game where he just kind of side-footed the ball because he thought he'd be offside. So he side foot chipped the goalie and it went in. And he was like, oh, it's not offside. Oh, cool. It was just one of those Cantona-esque kind of celebrations where it's like, yeah, I know I'm not great. So
he was a quality player. I mean, to be fair, very hated by Arsenal supporters because not only did he play for Spurs, but also played for United. Completely hated it, but you can't deny the quality, right?
No, unfortunately, you cannot. And I don't think I think he could have gone on to do bigger and better things even with his career had he ended up maybe at a United or a Bayern or a Barcelona or something like that. Or sorry, not a United, a Real Madrid. Beyond but he did well over at United. I think he picked up
Smashed it.
He picked up 1 or 2 league titles while he was there, didn't he?
At
I know he
least
picked up one.
At least one,
right?
Yeah.
So a couple of cups, I'm sure, in there, mixed in there as well. They've been consistently successful. But Chris is saying to ban you. Chris, I love you to bits, man. You're my buddy, but I can't ban the other half of the show. It's kind of hard to do what's buzzing Cuzzin with what's buzzing Bobby because me asking me what's happening is eventful and entertaining as that might be for some people. I'm going to say for most, it probably will not be. But getting back to it, Robbie, let's talk about this absolute horseshit, shall we? So you didn't watch the game. I unfortunately did. Session. Yeah, let's get our therapy session in. Okay, shall I lie down? Okay, so...
Yeah, tell me where it hurts. Where did Spurs touch you?
From here all the way down to my toes. Robbie, if you saw this game, this is the game that has finally pushed me over the edge almost, for lack of better words, in the sense that I'm so frustrated with the lack of effort, energy, intensity, desire, passion, that it made me realize that everybody's, not a majority of our fan base, but quite a large number of our fan base is against Daniel Levy and the board and everything. And, there's the constant Levy out, Enoch out kind of stuff. And I'm always of the mind that, careful what you wish for. We could end up with something much worse, and that scares me. But that being said, when I saw the display of football, forget the lack of quality in players and the personnel on the pitch. What really bothered me is that this man and this board have collectively to it's not good. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, I can hear you now, man. You were choppy there for a second, but I know that you'd said ended off with this board and this collective have. Oh, I don't know if we've lost Bobby. Are you still there?
Hello. Check. Mic check.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Oh, this is bad. Rogers, damn it, get your shit together. I could say shit now. We're past the 10-minute mark, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. Rogers, wireless. I am not happy. But what I was getting to, Robbie, is the fact that it almost feels like the soul of the club has been removed, that there's no passion to play for the badge. There was a pride in putting on and saying that I play for Tottenham, I play for Arsenal, I play for United. There was always this passion behind the club. And to me, it seems like that passion has waned into just the business end of it, where players are coming up to get their paycheck. I don't think a majority of our players, and I say a majority of the players on the team, would care less if they're playing for Tottenham or if they're playing for Arsenal, even though there's that harsh, hateful rivalry going back so many years, and over 100 years. And it just bothers me that these guys don't have that love almost for the badge, and that is the reason that there is no passion and desire on the field. Almost the energy is so poor.
Saying all that, I mean, I get you're out of a competition, right? You're still in the Champions League, still in top four. I mean, surprisingly, given
the double's still on, baby.
given
Double is on, baby.
I always like your optimism, but the fact that you guys have been sort of start-stop, some performances have not been that great. On top of all of that, you're still fourth, I think, right?
Fourth or
I believe
fifth.
so.
We're still up there though, regardless.
Which is surprising considering, right? And then when you think about the investment made into Conte, as over the course of the last year or 18 months, I guess we're getting into now, you got Kulu and you got Bentancur. Of course, Bentancur injured, but you also got Richarlison in the summer, and some of the decisions have been great. Some of the other ones, even these ones from this past.
Why? Well, how is spending 60 million on Richarlison a great decision when we needed a center back that we were crying for? Everybody was crying for a center back. There was
Fair enough.
so
Okay, so
many available. We could have Bremer. Jesus, could you imagine having Bremer back there? That brick wall instead of Dyer turn your back consistently. It's painful, bro.
So with the investment, let's say it was mismanaged investment, not where you needed to strengthen, right? Where do you guys go from here ultimately? Like I think I heard as well yesterday that Kulu's deal is subject to you guys getting top four.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't get top four, the odds are you might lose out on him. So where do you guys go from here? Like, is it a complete teardown from top to bottom? Is it?
Well, this is the problem, Robbie, that the board itself does not have a foundational structure in the entire time they've been there. Going through the manager list shows you that. With the amount of managers we've had in the years that they've been there, you're looking at an 18-month turnover rate. So what does the academy even do? What players, how are we prepping these players to go in and go forward into what the club's going to be doing when the agenda consistently changes? Sorry, we have one comment that came up I just want to address quickly here from Legend27. Starts with the fans. If we're all pally-pally with Arsenal fans on YouTube, doesn't really make it a derby anymore. Legend27, sorry, mate. I'm just going to call bullshit on that one, my man. That's my cousin. I love him to bits. He's like a brother to me. I will love him more for his blood and what he is to me before any club allegiances. So if that bothers you, my man, by all means, you can switch off. It's all good, bro. Completely understand. But we are here to talk football. We do banter each other and stuff like that.
Banter each other
but
all
I
the
will
time,
be pally
with
him till the day I die. So
yeah, and I love you, bro.
That's just the way it is. I love
do feel bad for you.
Hate your team. Absolutely despise your team.
Too.
Brings me joy when they lose. Hearing injury announcements from your club. Actually, it's the highlights of my day and stuff like that. There's no red allowed in this house. The only way red's allowed in this house if there's something red that's been put on fire and the flames are red from the fire. That's about it. But that's where we are with that, Legend. So like I said,
it is what it is, man. I know a lot of people that can't talk. We know a lot of people that can't talk ball, right? They hear Spurs or they hear Liverpool and they're like, that team's shit. That team's shit. I'm like, hey man, let's analyze what's going on. Like I could sit here
and talk about football.
And let's just talk
That's
about
what we're here to talk. We're here to talk about football in general. We're not here to just say you're shit. No, you're shit. No, you're shit. You there's plenty of channels that do that stuff that I'm sure you can click onto, my man. So we're happy here. It's all about love over here. It's about love for the game. It's about love for the football. We discuss what's wrong with our clubs, and we actually give each other praise where it is due. Because as far as I'm concerned right now, I'm very jealous of what Arsenal is doing and what they've accomplished in their Arteta era when they went from going, get this man out of the club, get this man out of the club for the first 2 years to hold on a second, something's happening here. So now they're sitting at the top of the food chain, 5 points clear, on the bounce, going strong, winning games, looking good, playing attractive football. So, credit where credit is due. Absolutely hate them, but I refuse to not give credit where credit is due. That's just my style.
I will say this comment from Welshie is actually really, really smart because You guys beat Man City, you beat
Yeah.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
and then
And
then you get into
and then we
Sheffield.
get
Was
here.
it
Yeah.
wholesale changes? Was it just complacency? Again, I didn't watch it, but I saw
You
some of
bring
the highlights.
Sanchez into the team, and what do you expect? The man got turned inside out by a championship player, and everybody's blaming Dyer because he turned on the goal. But Sanchez didn't even have his man in the first place. So blame both of them if you have to, because the goal went right through Dyer's legs. So he went down to kneel down to kind of block it, and it went through his legs and right by Forrester. So that it was a well worked goal by Sheffield. They kept possession of it. We had knocked it out. They got possession again, played it back out to the wing, coming back in, trying in, and trying to get it back in, and they did. They played it back through, and this guy just came in, did a little FIFA style cut through and everything, made himself his best version of
The
Messi,
highlights.
and scored a goal. So
Is it a
it was
question of-
painful, right? But
I
it's
was gonna
just
say, is it a question of when it's the big teams, or when it's I don't want to say
Cheers,
it's something to play for, but when it's a big team like a Man City or like a Chelsea and it's the occasion, is it that, hey, let's step up, we're on TV, we got to do this for the fans, or is it just, hey man, it's Sheffield, we should walk this?
And I think that's part of it, isn't it? So big up Biggie's in the house here, man. Our brother from the Punjabi Spurs over there in England. So good to see you, my man. But it's good that you said that, actually, because it coincides with this comment here by Andrew Gregory, that the players didn't care. And it pissed me off because even when I was watching them walk off the field, you could see that there was frustration, but no anger. There was nobody like turning around and grabbing the guy beside him and saying, "What the shit was that? What the hell were you doing out there today?" Put your heart into it a little bit. Put some goddamn effort. There was none of that. Nobody's grabbing each other because everybody was that poor. There was no player that I could say, people were throwing a little bit of praise at Danjuma because he came in and ran around a little bit, threw in a couple of good balls into the box and everything, but not enough to obviously make a difference. Harry Kane was getting a bit of the blame because he missed, some people would say it's a sitter. I don't know how that's a sitter, but the ball was coming in and he was kind of behind it and he tried to head it in and it ended up going on the ground and bouncing wide. But, just overall, we shouldn't have been even in that position, but if you look at the record, as crazy as this is, I went through it and I just looked at this yesterday. And do you think I can remember what the hell I read a day ago? No, but I'm pretty sure that we've got 1 win in 8 games at Sheffield going up there.
Really?
So midweek game going up to Sheffield. This is going back though, Robbie.
Yeah,
we're
talking because they've been
we're over like 20 years. It was like 22 years or something like that, or 21 years or something. It was
because they've been in the Prem.
Yeah. Sorry, whoever this is, I'm about to ban him.
Yeah, that's my cousin. That's my other cousin.
He just got banned. Yeah. Cheers. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here, man. Biggie, you're upset. So are we, man. And Andrew's right. He got tackled by the invisible man. It was so pathetic. It was such a horrible, horrible goal, Robbie. It really was a bad goal to concede. Actually, I'm sorry. Credit to Sheffield. They worked it well. Good goal on their part. Horrible goal on our end to concede. It just showed you when we don't have Romero back there, what a difference it makes. It's so sad that outside of our starting 11, we've become so poor. Perisic went down at one point, and he looked like he might have picked up a knock. And I'm just sitting here thinking, who the hell do we bring in? Cess is out. If Davies goes out there, he's out. Yeah, he's out again. Well, the man's made of glass, right? So it doesn't take much for him to get injured and be down again. It's been the story of his career. Unfortunately, for the young man, I feel bad for him. Ever since he's come up from Fulham, he hasn't really, first he didn't really get a crack into the team. He was loaned out and stuff like that. Went over to, I believe it was Hoffenheim and somewhere in Germany, and he did well over there. And then we brought him back, and he had a few moments of decency, not anything to really get overly excited about, but just hasn't turned out into anything that we really wanted. So it's kind of sad that that's the way it is for him, but we're lacking. We're still like, this is what pisses me off, that you as Arsenal fans, and I had this conversation a little bit with Lee Gunner, Lee, and not Lee Gunner, sorry, Lee Judges, and even he was saying, look, I think you guys did well with your investment, Basuma, Perisic and everything, Longley and everything, but when you really break it down, we're talking about a Perisic that was brought into the English league, I would say at least 3 years too late. with him aging and everything and the body wearing down and everything, it's really hard for us to say that he's going to be able to get up to speed and join what's happening in the English league and be able to keep up to it, the physicality as well and the pace of it. Then you got Longley, who's basically washed out of Barcelona. Gamble on him, but some moments he's looked half decent, but still it's a joke.
But that's
really,
a loan too, right? That's not a permanent. That's a loan, right?
Yeah. And even this, like, well, she's saying Sheffield are they're second in the championship, so they're not a write-off team. Technically that they possibly pushing up to promotion for next year. So who knows? Biggie's just saying he doesn't understand why we played a second string team because Biggie, we got one eye on the game tomorrow too, right? We got Wolves coming up tomorrow, right? So yeah. Well, she's saying it's like a rubber band here. What's the point? FC's in the house. Big up, buddy. Good to see you, man. South Korean for Borley in the club, not including the Super Mario Kart. And this is the thing. This is what's frustrating. Dude, we're worried about bringing in F1 cars, putting in racetracks, and again, creating this entertainment entity, and it's just where the club is. Somebody sent me a clip about Daniel Levy showing him when he was way back young before they bought the football club, and they really wanted to buy into a football club, and his whole sole purpose was because investment. The words out of his mouth. It's not somebody just making it up or something like that. So it was out of his mouth kind of thing. So my internet's
now with the new stadium, and that's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing is with the new stadium. And again, this is just from the outside looking in. It seems like the entertainment component of it is more. We wanted, football's almost secondary, right? We want to have Beyonce concerts, and we want to have WizKid concerts, and we want to have go-kart tracks and stuff like this. Hey, big up! Yeah. That's my Uncle John too. From
I know UK. Uncle John. I was going to say it's Uncle John. I remember meeting Uncle John. Good to see you. Thanks for joining, Uncle John. Yeah, it's Benny boys in the house. Big up, Benny. Cheers, buddy. That's everyone like it's be nice, baby. Be nice. It's all about being nice here.
So, where do you guys go from here? What do you think? Should we just is it top 4, or is it just like you don't even care anymore? Or like,
we were going to get into that later on, Robbie. I was actually going to bring that up later on, but you know what? Why don't we do that right now? We can eliminate one more banner while we're at it. At the rate we're going with the up and down, the inconsistency and stuff like that, the only thing that's saving us right now is the inconsistency of the teams around us. But I don't think that Liverpool is that far from getting back into form and clicking, and I really see us getting piped by them at the end for that 5th spot. I can see us finish for that 4th spot. So I can see us finishing maybe 5th or 6th if we continue the trend that we're on. Something's happening with that club that is very negative and toxic. Obviously, Conte not being around, the team performed better. That was turning into a big agenda there and stuff. And the narrative was to bring Stellini and leave Conte kind of coaching from the background and let Stellini be the man on the field because the players seem to be responding better. But we saw it against Sheffield. All the wheels completely came off. So where do we go from here? We're too busy worried about having our multi-purpose entertainment stadium FC or go-kart FC as some people have joined us. So have joked about us, right? So it's where are we finishing? I can see us finishing in the top 4 because it seems like that is the priority for the club, the hierarchy, and that's it. So the reason if we finish top 4 is because we're going to be out of everything else and we'll be playing once a week. So we'll be able to play our strongest 11 and not worry about rotation. When we have to worry about rotation, games, right? We're fucked, for lack of better words. We're absolutely screwed. When it comes down to rotation, we just don't have the squad. We don't have the depth. We don't have the quality. Beyond that, we got players that are just not performing. Sonny has just been a shadow of himself. And it's so heartbreaking to see because he's, Little K's favorite player and just been an absolute gem for us. 15 million, I believe we grabbed him for. And what a steal.
Golden boot winner last year.
Golden boot winner last year to no boot winner this year. If anything, he'll be winning the rubber boots this year. It's crazy, and well, she's just stole my next sentence from me, so I brought it up for her. But any team could go on a run, and I think it's really going to be coming down to once we're out of the CL, that's it. Let's just all we'll have to do is focus on top 4. There'll be nothing else for us.
Yeah,
It'll be nothing else for us. And Andrew's even saying, Levy's already turned us into a circus. How long before another Cirque du Soleil? You know, I don't be shocked if you see that either. Do not be
Possible.
shocked.
It's a big draw, and
So-
Vegas is really far from the UK. So
Yeah.
it's, I mean, I do feel for you because I do love you. I mean, your team's in the mud. Let's be real. I personally think it needs a complete teardown. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, even if you guys do finish top four, and again, I'm echoing these sentiments as well. It reminds me a lot of Arsenal, right? 'Cause
And
every
this
year
is
when we
it. But
go-
this is what our fans are saying, Robbie. Forget
we
you.
finish top four, and then what? Like, what are we supposed to expect? Like, we're not winning anything. We're not kicking on to the next level. What is it really going to take? So
Yeah.
it's it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you guys. So you're saying fourth, but I mean, really only by default, right? Because Liverpool fell off, Newcastle is falling off, Brighton might still. I mean, that would be a Brighton and Fulham. Don't write them
Brighton
off.
and
They're
Fulham.
still
Four. Yeah.
right. So they're still battling. So it's possible, but you guys could get it just strictly by default. Ultimately, if you can string a run of games together,
And that's what
if
it's
you're out
gonna
of the
take,
Champions
Robbie.
League, right? What else you got to play for?
And we've got some decent fixtures coming up that are favorable. But anything at this point, when you lose to a team like Sheffield, what should be a walkthrough game, then how do we have high expectations going to Wolverhampton tomorrow? You know, we're going down there for Wolves, and it's, you know, they've given us a tough run over time and stuff like that. It's
They're
not
gonna
like
have their
they're a walk
backup,
through
man.
us.
They just lost to Liverpool, right? So they're gonna have their backup. They need points too. So
They need points too, man, and it's and like she said, at this point anybody can go on a run, and it's so painful. You know, you got other teams in there that again could just put it together. Fulham started off really strong. Who's not to say that they can get together again? Even Brentford. Tony started off really strong
Brentford,
over there. Brentford was
Brighton.
looking so good. Brighton was looking so good. You know, so it's any given Sunday, like they say, right? You never know what could happen. So
True.
will it be a blessing in disguise for us to be knocked out of the Champions League and us have the hope that we can actually get something going? Who knows, buddy? Who knows? But we said we were going to try to do just a quick half-hour show, and we just spent the first 28 minutes talking about mostly about Spurs. So let's get to this one, shall we? Actually, no, first, let's finish this off. Because we said we finishing. And when I say we, I include you, obviously. So where are you finishing? Are you going to hold on to win the title? Do you think you can do it?
My thought is yeah, I do believe that we're gonna win it. Listen, I know a lot of fans are very skeptical to say, hey man, don't curse it, or there's a lot of games left to play. Absolutely. But my thought process has always been very positive, right? If the fans don't believe, why would the players believe? The players
100%.
have to believe, and all that stuff has to come from the top to the bottom.
Yep.
So why can't we, right? Leicester done it. Nobody gave us a shot. Nobody gave us a shot. We're 5 points clear. We turned that midweek game in hand into 3 points very convincingly. I wouldn't say we had the best January window, a lot better than last January, which screwed us. But there seems to be a bit of a plan when you're picking up guys like a Trossard, like a Jorginho, even a Kiwior, who have actually done really recent to galvanize the team when other people are out or not really pulling their weight. So I absolutely think we can. I think we can win it. And I'm going to say right here, I think we will finish first. If we don't, me personally, I know we had this question on one of our earlier episodes. Would we consider it a disappointment? I would, because expectation when we came into this season was top four. But
Top four,
now where
yeah.
you see where we are, you'd be like, why shouldn't you move the goalpost and be like, the expectation now should be to win it, right? You're in it. Why not win it? You're leading from the front. You're not chasing. The only thing that could set us back, possible injuries. We still got Europa League that we're in, squad depth, but also these guys are really young, right?
Yes.
Between 20 and 23, 24, you might have a
24, yeah,
sprinkle of
tops.
older guys in there who have
Which
never
is
done
almost
it.
a perfect mix. It's the perfect
Yeah.
storm, isn't it?
'Cause
You know, that's
play
what you
without
need,
fear.
right?
You play without fear. You play without expectation. You just take it one game at a time. It's a pretty popular saying
But they
online.
seem to be playing for their manager, which is something that we seem to be lacking. You know, that's what the
They
argument
play for
amongst
the
the fan
badge.
base is. They're
Absolutely.
paying for the badge. They actually want to be there. Well, we can't say we have that issue, you know. So Chris is saying that with your momentum and the belief, like Leicester had in their title-winning season.
True.
So
It's true.
and even what's the point is just saying if Kane goes, we'll be lucky to be finishing top tens. And I agree with him. I honestly do. He's saying at this point, I don't care where we finish now. And honestly, I'm so frigging in agreement with him because I don't want to finish in top 4 because I want these guys to actually stop focusing on just getting into top 4. Let's start raising the bar a little bit. And if we don't finish top 4, hopefully they'll be forced into having to invest into the areas that we need investment in. Or what's going to happen in the summer? Do we lose Conte again and go right back to the drawing board and start all over again? Bring in another Band-Aid solution manager that's here for 18 months, have him piss off and then do it again. Like this cycle is so bad. And the worst part is I've made my kids Spurs fans, and Chris is saying it's yours to lose right now. Your cousin here is saying he's about to clip your ass.
Oh, yeah. He's a big Liverpool
Big up,
fan.
Ian. Good to see
He's
you.
just happy
Big
to
up.
be watching.
He's a Liverpool fan?
He's a Liverpool fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is weird because we grew up in the same areas and we grew up in the same households, and somehow he jumped ship. So I don't know why or how, but it's very entertaining.
Everybody has their allegiances, buddy. Everybody has their allegiances. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's do a quick one on this, buddy. You guys actually came back. You had a poor string of results over the last few weeks. A couple of poor games, a couple of drop points. Thankfully, Man City did you a favor and dropped points as well, to the powerhouse that is Nottingham Forest. And take it away, buddy. This is all you now.
Yeah. I will say it was very underwhelming. I was really looking forward to the game, obviously, midweek game. This was our game in hand. It was very underwhelming the first, call it 40 minutes. If you recall, Everton beat us at their gaff with the new manager bounce when Sean Dyche took over. They beat us 1-0, Tarkovsky header. It was pretty depressing. I'm not going to lie, because it was not just a
It was awesome.
Result.
Oh, sorry.
Not just a bad result, but a bad performance, which is rare. Rare that I would say that for this team this year.
Yeah.
But,
whereas I could say it a lot.
Yeah. Revenge was on the cards for us. And after that 40th minute, I wouldn't even say we looked that great. Saka on the right foot kind of, again, galvanized the team with a rocket. Amazing that the fact that a lot of left-footed wingers, never use their right. It's almost like they're one-footed, right? They never can't be both-footed. But Saka's learning to score with both his left and his right. It's deadly. It's incredible to see.
And he's young, man. What is he, 20 now?
21.
Is he 21 now?
Yeah.
Shit, baby,
so
baby.
I think once we get him locked down to a 5-year deal, it's going to be amazing times, quite frankly. It's going to be really
great.
Great
would
times.
it be if he refuses to sign and ends up at Tottenham or something? That would be awesome.
I would doubt it. If he was going to go anywhere, I would think it would be a Man City or it'd be away from England. But he loves the club, right? It's again, homegrown academy player. Same with Nketiah. Same with Reece Nelson. Same with Smith Rowe. A lot of these guys are out of the
A lot of young
academy.
Good players coming up, man. Yeah,
and they bleed for the badge, players. Right? Yeah. A lot of things that you'd like to see or that you would like Tottenham guys to have. Play for the badge. Don't be a mercenary. You play for the fans.
I don't
think
it's even a thing about. I don't think it's even a thing about playing for the badge anymore, Robbie. I think that we, overall, as a club, as a fan base, as an entity, completely have no idea what our direction is.
That's scary times, right?
It's very scary. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Even under Alan Sugar, we friggin' kept up the trophy a decade. These guys, jeez.
And that's from a business aspect, right? Because obviously I work in a business field. If you think about if you were working for a company and it had zero direction, it's very scary as an employee, right? Because let's be honest, these players, they might be world global superstars, but at the end of the day, they're employees of the club.
Yeah, so but these employees don't seem to care. But the other 6,000 that they've got working at every other entity and every other business part of the, wherever they got their dirty little fingers in so many different pies, they're happy because they're making money.
Because they're making money.
There was almost it's almost got to the point where it's more like my job, where a lot of people are just showing coming in to collect their paycheck, not give a shit. FC, collect your paycheck, go the hell home. We lose. Oh well, it's okay. We'll get them next time. Oh, we won. Hey, way to go. We can celebrate.
It seems more like, oh, we lost. Well, I get paid either way, so who cares?
And that's what it comes down to. And even what's the point of saying there's too many average players on huge wages? Like, for fuck's sakes, they're talking about friggin' extending Eric Dyer's contract. I don't know if it's done or not. I know there was a lot of talk about it. I don't know if pen to paper has been put. If anybody in the chat can to let me know if it has been done. If it is confirmed, that'd be fantastic. But it's just, we're talking about a guy that was second string under Poch, and he's our mainstay in the back line now.
For a long time, for a while now.
10 years.
Yeah.
But now he's the starter. He's he's the main, he's the first guy in that center back position that's written down. That's absurd.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart to say this about Dyer because we all know Big K is absolutely in love with the guy for some mad reason and he needs therapy, but it is my son. So, it's crazy, but there's no accountability. And it's like, well, she's saying workers don't produce much up, get sacked, but not at Spurs. At Spurs, we give them extensions.
Yeah, it's madness.
You've been shit for 10 years. By all means, let's give you another 5 because that's our level. And then what does it make you think? Now, as bad as this is going to sound, what does Harry Kane think when he's doing all that work up front to try to put goals in and then silly goals are conceded on the other end because of poor player mistakes and lack of commitment and desire? What a piss off that must be that you turn around and reward this player. But again, sorry, we're going off topic. We were here. Let's get back into that. Big bounce back for you guys. How was the game overall?
I mean, the second half was more like what I like to see from Arsenal. I mean, we were already 2-0 up, but I'll be honest, it flattered us. And then once the second half started, we had to swap Jorginho out for Partey. That really made it look like the Arsenal that I've been seeing for the remainder of this season. It was just they couldn't get a sniff, and they're in a relegation battle, right? So they had to come out, try and get something, but we demolished them. Gabriel with his goal, Trossard looked good, Martinelli with his goal, Trossard with the assist and Odegaard with the goal, and Martinelli with his second. Like it looked really, really convincing, and a 4-0 scoreline probably near the second half. We probably could add 5 or 6. We deficit the goal difference between us and City. It was 10. I think it's down to 6. They play before us on Saturday. So they've got Newcastle at home. So maybe Newcastle will do us a favor. I doubt it. But if they can, then we play Bournemouth at home. So potential to go 8 at the top.
Well, I really hope it's 2 by Sunday morning, but that's just my preference. And then, of course, I hope you drop points, City drop points, and then that way the double's back on for us because, I think we could still win the league and the Champions League. Come on, you Spurs.
I'm gonna.
On that note, we're gonna end the show now.
I was just gonna say, there's no chance that's gonna happen. AC Milan, quite frankly, I mean, AC Milan is probably the best chance you have to bounce back. But even if you guys advance in the Champions League, I mean, what does that really mean? You guys, let's be real, you're not going to win it. So what does that really mean? Like then all your eggs are in the top 4 basket. And then next year, I think you guys are going to be in for some shocks, quite frankly. I think you got big questions in terms of Son, Kane, Lloris, like a whole bunch of big wage players who are nearing the end of their contracts and stuff might have to be gone.
Well, and that's the problem, Robbie, that we haven't addressed the needs that we've had previous, saying that we need this, and this. And now, as we get to another window, not only do we still have this, and this to fill in, but now we're going to add this, and this. And we're going backwards.
Yeah.
On average, all big clubs add at least a player a window, or at minimum 1 or 2 in the summer. And it's just, it's painful that we don't do anything for that. We just don't care about the football ending of it. It's so sad almost, right? And Biggie's going to the game. You do, wicked man. We'll do a Biggie's game day for sure, buddy, for sure. And this is all it is, man. Means more money getting into the next round and TV money. That's all it is. But Chris, when you type that shit, buddy, you got to type money all caps because that's it. That's what it's all about, baby. We are Ching Ching FC. All right. Make it rain. That's right. What are we? I think the top 4 grossing club or something like that it was on ticket sales. We're in the top 4 in all the leagues in the world.
You
And
guys
yet,
must be making bank. Let's be real. Like
bro,
with
it's
the Beyonce
ridiculous.
concert, the new stadium, WizKid, F1, you
F1,
got soccer
baby.
going on, like
Woo-hoo.
NFL. Like you guys must be making money.
But
So
that's all it is, Robbie. That's it. We've created a stadium. So it's basically like we've opened up a business to rent out, to lease out. We opened up this fancy building to lease it out for other things. Don't worry about the football end of it because these stupid fans are going to keep coming. That's the way we're being treated. All these years, 61,000 people are still filling that stadium up. And the sad reality is that they know it will keep happening. These people are
yeah,
going to still keep coming because
of
if I
course,
choose to give up my season ticket, what a lot of my friends in this community are saying, they're going to give up their season tickets and they're not going back. Somebody's going to scoop it up.
someone will. Yeah,
Somebody's going to scoop it up, and they're going to be there in that seat. They're going to be spending the money. That money that you refuse to spend in the club shop and buy
someone
beer
will
and
buy it.
food, they're going to do that probably. So, in fact, that the club is going to benefit from you not renewing your season tickets. You know what I mean? And it's sad times. It'll continue while they're there. And that's a sad reality. It's a business, but it is a very well-run business, Biggie. And this is what I say. I don't see us being sold. Why would you? Why would you sell that club? It
Sure.
is making money over, hand over fist. Why would you, if you were a business owner, if I owned my own business and it's making me sick money on minimum effort on my part, why in the hell would I sell it?
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. I mean, it's completely unfair to the fans. I get it, right? And I love you guys and your kids, my nephews, absolutely love them, but it's really unfair because what are you going to do? Just stop supporting? Like it's not a possibility, right? It's ingrained in us. It's in our DNA. We support
Yeah,
our
literally
clubs.
ingrained in me.
There you go, right? So where they know they got you. They know they got you. And again, why would they sell? Even if the fans were in an uproar, why would they sell? Because it's a moneymaker, right?
That's it. And there's not enough of a negative fan base to outweigh the ones that are still coming up. A lot of people, and I believe this fully only because I was one of these people up to about a year ago, before I came into this YouTube community and started really talking to these other people that do these shows and meeting a whole bunch of other Spurs fans. You know how many Spurs fans I have here to talk to?
Yeah,
None.
yeah.
My boys, that's about it. So they're not going to, me and my kids were not about to sit down and start discussing Daniel Levy and the financial aspects of the club and everything and where things have gone wrong and
Yeah.
what things should have been done and what poor investments we made, how our scouting department's doing this, that, and the other. This is all stuff that I've had the benefit of learning through people here. And it just comes down to the sad reality that for every negative fan that walks away, one will come in. And I don't doubt that there's a lot of fans that are like myself of a year ago that are oblivious to the business end of it. They're just strictly there for the football. And it's gotten to the point where if we win, great, yay, hey, we're celebrating everything, yay, we're happy today. And if they lose, oh, it's okay, we'll get them next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's gotten to that point where we as a club, as a fan base, have we started accepting mediocrity? Are we okay with it now? And that's painful, bro. That's really, really painful. And it sickens me almost that I've put my kids in this position and that, I've even named my cat after a Spurs player. It's just disappointing to think that the future is bleak. When you lose a game, you look forward to the next one, thinking, okay, don't worry, we're gonna shit,
bounce
man,
back.
we're going
Yeah,
to
we'll bounce back.
Wolves tomorrow, and I'm so happy I'm gonna be at work and not watching the game. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
No,
really am.
It's dire times, no pun intended, when you start thinking there's
And this is
essentially
another
quicksand,
thing.
right?
What Biggie says, spot on, Biggs, spot on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's dire times, man. Quite frankly, it's really depressing. I mean, my own opinion, and again, I got no right to be like, here's what your club should do. But seeing you guys as fans, it seems like you guys need a complete teardown from top to bottom, or the owners really need to just get their heads out of their asses
Why
and
does
be
it
like,
need
you
to
know
be a
what?
teardown
Let's
from
move forward.
top to bottom? It just needs to be smart investment and the right project put together. You guys went for a young manager that was affiliated to the club, that was almost a legend leaving your club, who worked under one of the best managers considered to be in the world out there under Pep, learned at City, learned his trade, picked up from a winning coach how things are done and everything. And within 4 years and a £400 million investment has turned your fortunes completely around. Brighton, without investment, losing their manager, are up there. So what is it that it's so toxic that we cannot bring out the best in form, in players, in energy, in desire? There's that whole wonderment of what is really going on, and only the people behind closed doors really know, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I hear a lot of Spurs fans online who are like, never should have got rid of Poch. He seems the most likely to come back and come back next time. And
Let's
you're
take a
like,
step backwards. Yeah,
well, then at the same time, you'd be like, well, then why would you get rid of him back in whenever it was, 2016, 17? As the last
exactly.
5 years, like, what was that for?
It's
Like, it makes no sense. So, and really, he was the one, I'll be honest, as an Arsenal fan, that I was nervous about. Be like, well,
I thought he was going to be our Wenger.
he's developing younger kids. He's
Yep.
developing a style of play. He's
Yep.
developing. I was like, oh, he could move them up to the next
Yep.
echelon.
I was
And it was
hoping he
almost
would
out of
be
a
our
degree of
Ferguson, man.
self-sabotage. Your club was like, no, we don't want that. You're like, okay, but they gave investment to Conte. They gave investment to other guys, and I'm like, it's very rudderless. It seems like there's no direction whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's what it is, Robbie. It's perfectly put there. It's rudderless. It's absolutely pathetic. And here, what's the point again with another brilliant comment in here that's saying not providing a quality defense in 3 windows? 3 windows. You're telling me that there wasn't a single center back out there, bar Romero, that we could have got that would have helped our back line when we knew that was our weakest point. That's our Achilles heel, that our defense leaks poor goals. And Hugo is losing a step now, and he needs to be covered a little bit better. We can't rely on him as much. You know, he's making costly errors as well. So we need a goalie and a whole back line. So that's pretty much the whole foundation of the team, because everything starts at the back.
Yeah,
You know, we don't have the
your
ability
entire
to play
spine.
out. It's
Never mind your backup, dude. You don't even have a good backup goalie, right? You got Fraser Forster as the backup. So even if you replace
you mean
Lloris,
Groot?
yeah, you're gonna need another Groot behind Lloris's backup. Like, it just, as an Arsenal fan, you guys are in the mud, and I'm here for it. But as your cousin and as uncle to your kids, I'm like, things are not looking great over there, man.
Yeah, you can get that shit out of your head. You're not going to convert the kids to Arsenal. They know they can go to any team they want in the world except for one.
They're never going to come to Arsenal.
So,
They're never going to come to Arsenal.
No. No, that's one thing. Christian hates them more than I do, and
I know he does.
God bless
I know
him
he
for
does.
it. God bless him for it.
Him and Jay are the first on my call in May, depending on where we finish. So don't worry, I'll be calling them for sure.
Then I guess they're gonna be the first two to ignore your call in May.
I remember when we bottled top 4, my phone was ringing off the hook. Off the hook. I'd be like, yo, how does what?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
Money. Okay, we are well over
going
the
into
time.
predictions.
Let's get into predictions. There is something. Sorry, folks. We are cutting the show short. For those of you that missed it, here's the link again. Our dear friend Sava at Sava Talk Spurs is doing a lovely, lovely 24-hour live charity stream for those affected in Turkey by the earthquake. Obviously not right now, but when you finish here in a few minutes, hop on over there, give them a like and a sub, and if you possibly can, the link will be over there in the description. If you could possibly spare a couple of bucks, even $1, $2, a pound, or for those English folk that are watching, throw something in there. It all goes to a great cause, and it'll help people.
Or if you can't, just share the link out.
Even that,
share the link
there
out
you go.
to as many people as you can. Get
There
the
you
word
go.
out. It's definitely
100%.
for a good cause. I've seen a lot
100%.
of pictures from the devastation out there, and man, it's
so many families
crazy.
affected, bro. Kids in the rubble and stuff, man.
Oh,
I saw a picture of I saw this
Heartbreaking.
picture, Robbie. Honestly, I don't know if I should talk about it, because talking about it's going to probably make me a little bit.
Yeah,
emotional,
don't.
No, it was just I'll give it was basically a little foot sticking out of rubble. I thought it was a doll.
Oh,
Wasn't a
buddy.
doll. That's how small. You know what I mean? And it was just. Oh man, and
Did you
it
hear
gives
about
you an
Christian
appreciation. Yeah,
Christian Atsu as well. Like he,
It's-
I mean, it's just, it's
Yeah, he
crazy.
was there,
It's
right?
crazy to
It's-
think
it's-
about. It's sad.
it is. It's very sad. A lot of people affected and stuff like that. Let's get into it then. We got games coming up this weekend. We've got Wolves tomorrow. You guys got Bournemouth tomorrow or Sunday?
Tomorrow,
And you're
10 a.m. We are home. Yeah, next run of games is pretty much home games.
Okay, so pretty much easy 3 points for you guys. Safe to say over there, Bournemouth, poor
I'm
season,
I'm
relegation
I'm
zone.
going for another massive win. I'm going for like at least a 4-0.
Wow,
Yeah,
that big,
I
eh?
think so. I think so. They're
That
in the
big.
mud. But I
Okay,
think our club after the Leicester, after the run of results, regardless of the Man City Newcastle game, I think we've got enough to roll them over. And Party's back fit. Eddie might be back. A couple other guys are slowly getting back. Vieira might start. We'll see. Odegaard had a great game second half. I think we're going to roll them over.
very good, very good. I don't mean that, but yes, very good, very good. I'll go heart and head prediction, of course. In my head, yeah, I could see easily 3-0 swat away for you guys. Just bring out the fly swatter, whack them back to Bournemouth, and send them back home crying, which they've pretty much done all year. And of course, with my heart, 2-0 to Bournemouth. Come on, Bournemouth. I love you
Do
guys.
you a
Greatest
favor.
team ever. Yeah.
Greatest. I'll give you $5. Name 5 of their players.
There's Jimmy, there's Mike, Frank,
Yeah,
there's
yeah, that's 3.
James,
Yeah.
and
No, that's
John.
Jimmy. James.
Jo-
James is Jimmy.
no,
So
there's
that's
two.
3.
One's Jimmy, one's James, and then there's John, and there's Johnny.
Yeah.
Did I say
Yeah.
Mark already?
Yeah, Mark and Mike
That's
and
Mark and Mike.
Bill.
Okay, we got in there.
Big Bournemouth supporter. Big Bournemouth supporter.
Desi Munda's in the house. Big up, kita. Saying big up to Punjabi Monday in it. So that's it. So you're going 4-0. I'm going 3-0. With my ankle, with my heart, and then we go over now to all the way down to Hampton and go to the Molyneux, where we get to go get hosted by the fantastic team that is in Wolverhampton. I really can't wait. I'm so excited for this one. After that Sheffield
They're
result, I
struggling to
think we're
score
going to
goals.
go in there. They're struggling to score goals. We're struggling to score goals. For some reason, man, it just seems like we don't go full tilt against him. I know it's always a nervy game against Wolverhampton for us. I think on the bounce, though, we're going to get back. I think it will be a tight 2-1 win. I think we're going to see a late goal coming in from somewhere. Who's going to score it? I've given up guessing because all we can say is Kane, because it seems like nobody else on our team knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. If you look at the numbers, it's almost atrocious, the numbers that drop off. If we didn't have Kane, man, I think
Because
somebody was looking the other way. If we minused Kane's goals, we would have been out possibly to Portsmouth the round before in the FA Cup. We would be sitting 10th or 11th, I believe they said, in the league without his goals. So
wow.
that just tells you
If he goes
what
to
a
United, if
big
he goes to
asset.
Newcastle,
If he goes
that's a big
anywhere,
void
if
to
he
fill.
just goes,
Yeah.
that gap is going to be so friggin' ridiculous to fill. It's going to be unbelievable.
Does
And
Richarlison start
I
tomorrow?
love Jason. Big up Jason. Who knows, man? Who knows? After that display with the start last one and being pulled at halftime, I don't know, man. But Jason, love your comment, brother. Big up
This is
to you,
pretty
man.
good.
Good.
Tottenham
Yeah,
and
it's
whoever's playing Arsenal.
yeah,
That's great.
exactly. That's pretty much that's the rule in this house, Jason. So big up to you. So legend, if you're still in the chat, that's the way the house actually runs on game days. It's we love Tottenham and whoever's playing against Arsenal. So there is a lot of hatred. Don't get it wrong, my man. There is a lot of hatred, but love too. My man Leo, my man Parker, down from Mile High Hotspurs down in Colorado. Big up, homies. Big up to you, my man. Good to see you. Always great to see you, man. Lovely, lovely guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1, tight one, and I think it's gonna be a very, very painful game to watch. I think when the game finishes and I finish work, that I'm gonna be reading about 14,000 WhatsApp messages in all the groups on the way home from how pissed off everybody is and how poor we were, regardless of the result. So that's where I'm sticking, buddy. What do you think? What hope do you have for your Tottenham family over here?
Like in all reality, and I do have Kane in my fantasy, so more so my heart than my head. And you guys are no threat. Let's be honest. You're not going to leapfrog us in the league. So I think it's going to be a narrow 1-0 win Spurs. Um, Wolves I don't think they have anything. I think they got another injury. I don't even think they've got a forward line. Diego Costa maybe comes on 10 minutes. Jimenez has been misfiring. A lot of their guys are injured. Bueno got injured, I think, on Wednesday versus Liverpool. Like they've got nothing. They'll be lucky to stay up. I think you guys should have enough to at least go 1-0 above them, and I think it's obviously going to have to be Kane.
I certainly hope so. Leo's agreeing with my prediction here, 2-1 here, but we do have Captain Positive in the house. This is the most positive Canadian Spurs fan there is, Mr. Scott M.
Wow, he's the most positive?
There's a lot of sarcasm when I say positive with Scott.
I was going to say, because I was like,
actually, fair play. He might not be considered positive or negative, but he's a very realistic man. So I'll give credit to Scott where it's due. I actually love Scott's, because Scott doesn't just throw out shit like saying, "Oh, he's garbage." He'll actually back it up and say he's garbage because of this.
Yeah.
So go ahead, argue back with me all you want that he's good because you like him.
Yeah.
And that's what the reality is. That's what we've come down to as Spurs fans. What we're arguing, well, no, Sonny is great because I like him. Or Scott will be, Sonny was great. But in this game, he did this, and this. And we're not talking about that, all those stats pages and all that stuff and everything, the crap that I know nothing about, XG, this, that, and everything like that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about him, actually watching the game and giving it his opinion kind of thing. And that's it's sad sometimes listening to Scott because you can't disagree with him, right? And Arrest is in the house. Big up, Arrest. Good to see you. This is my buddy that's the United fan, so he must be buzzing right now. Congratulations to you guys for winning the Carabao Cup, my man. I'm so happy you won a trophy. Yeah, so happy you won a trophy. Really, I am.
So that'll be for my cousin who's watching the game as well. Liverpool United at Anfield. That's a big game. That's a 6-pointer right there, man.
So they were saying, Biggie's saying that the Punjabi Spurs and the Punjabi Wolves community have a big support network down there, and they support each other.
There's a lot of Punjabis in Wolverhampton. A lot of Punjabis.
There's a lot of Punjabis all over England, man.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, we spread like wildfire, man. We're pretty much everywhere at this point. But I think that's it for us for this show. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we're going to do this every bi-weekly Friday nights. We'll go back to our regular time, which will be 4 p.m. here. 9 p.m. for those lovely folk, those of you that are over in the England. And sorry, but I was supposed to go to take this guy to the vet in about 10 minutes, but unfortunately they decided to rearrange the appointment because there's a bit of snow coming. So now we're going to, apparently. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
20 centimeters, buddy.
20 centimeters. Yeah, baby. So if you all
Nothing
want,
better to do,
should we do a live stream of shoveling? How fun it is? Because I don't think my people in England have an appreciation for how much fun it is to shovel 20 centimeters of snow and watch your kids argue about how they should do this and they should do that instead of just shoveling the goddamn snow.
Like we had to.
Yeah, we had to. Exactly. Cheers, Welshie. Thanks for being here right from the get-go. Appreciate you, my darling. And you know what, Scott? Again, this is it. This is it. He's got to be. You know what I mean? Especially when you turn around and you say that, we're gonna sign Dyer, the guy that leaks the goals on the other end, for you to extend his contract. That's our ambition, Harry. Stick around. Stick around. No, Harry, we're going places. Really, we are. We're gonna get you that trophy. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
It might be the Jimmy Carlin Cup or some shit, but who knows?
If I'm your board, you have to cash in on Kane or you lose him for free, right? Like that's it. You have to cash in on him for free.
But that's where we are, man. I know what you meant, Scott. I know what you meant, buddy. And the thing is, he was the only one that walked off that field looking pissed off. And Scott's right, man. If Kane is done, we are done. And part of it
probably
Big
was
up JP in the house. Big up, my man.
Knowing full well, like I'm leaving at the end of the season. I'd like to leave with a trophy with Spurs. And
I honestly think Robbie, I think he honestly still has it somewhat in a small part of his heart that he wants to finish his career where it started. He wants to be the one club player. He wants to leave here. He's the all-time goal scoring leader for us now. He's only going to add to that. He's on Shearer's heels for the Premier League scoring record. if he could accomplish all that in the Tottenham jersey, great for him, individual accolades and something to look back on. But he's not that. He's an overly ambitious player. That's not going to satisfy him, the individual accolades. He needs something in that trophy cabinet. And it's just so frustrating that we don't support him with that, you know?
RVP wanted the same thing, right? He knew right off the bat. He was like, I'm not going to win anything at Arsenal. So I had to go to United. And
big up, Ryan. Thanks for joining us.
Right?
And watch, goes to United. Dude, could you imagine Kane in that United team with Ten Hag, with what he's getting done over there?
He's either my thought process is I know a lot of United fans are thinking about Osimhen and some other guys as well. I mean, obviously Weghorst is a stopgap, but you know whether Kane goes to United, I personally think he may go to Newcastle. Newcastle for me seems like a more exciting project.
But I don't think at his age, at 30, Robbie, he's in for a project, mate.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but there's no way they're not going to spend money. And again, maybe it's due to. If United get that Qatari money, they'll be like, look at what we'll build around here. If United end up on a double this year, then maybe. But I don't know. I don't know where he's going to end up going. Like it's a lot of people need strikers. A lot of clubs are going to need strikers. Big six clubs.
Every club would take this guy in a heartbeat, and we know that, right?
Yeah.
So
I think maybe a lot of it might as well be not just the ambition, but what you're going to pay me, because he could end up being the top earning guy. And
that's the thing. Prem. We've got him at what, $250K a week or something?
He'll get
pennies
that doubled,
for a player of that quality. Oh, triple almost probably. Yeah. I don't. If you were paying Ronaldo $1 million, you know, Kane's up at 600, 700,000 easy.
Exactly.
You know, right? easily. But we'll leave that all for another show. We could talk about what to do with Kane on the next one. So maybe we'll discuss that in a few weeks, folks. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, this afternoon, this morning, wherever the hell you are. I don't know. But remember to hit that like button. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you don't like him, it's okay. You have to like me. If you don't like me, it's okay. You have to like him. It's just that's why we're kind of here. If you're an Arsenal fan, thank you for joining us today. And really happy for you guys. And anything you want to say, Robbie, before we call it a day?
No, cuz that was a good chat. Don't forget to hop on that other link.
Get on over to Sava Talk Spurs. Yeah, I'll drop the link one more time. Thank you for that.
Definitely
here.
It's for a very good cause, right?
Yeah, 100%. So we are all going to head over there right now. And he does get in his way, Biggie, unfortunately. And much love to you guys. And thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. Thank you for all the comments. Thanks for watching. Anybody's coming back to rewatch it, remember to hit that like button. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. And we'll see you in 2 weeks when we're back for Buzzin. What's Buzzin' Cuzzin? Sounds good?
One love.
One love, buddy. One love. And of course, like we like to end the show with, come on, you Spurs.